Week 4, Day 2, Social Entertainment. So here's some key terms that you should know about social entertainment. Your book talks a lot about video games and things of that nature, and I wanted to extend that knowledge with other branded social entertainment. So you have branded product placement. This is the paid appearance of a service or a brand's product or logo in any type of media to gain exposure for the brand or service. So when I say any type of media, I mean broadcast programming, movies, it can be music, it can be video games, it can even be novels and things of that nature. So think broad when you think about media. Then you have branded product integration. This is when the brand is actually written into the script or the lyrics. So instead of just seeing the Coke sitting on the table, someone may say, grab me a Coke out the refrigerator. And so that is actually integration of branded product placement. And then you have branded digital product placement or integration. And that's the post-production integration of brands into existing video programming. So the show has already been recorded, let's say a TV show, and they decide we want to put Coke on the table, and they do that in a digital manner. So here's some examples. If you've seen 50 Shades of Grey, if you haven't, you've heard of it. And several brands have been identified in this movie. And based on the plot of the story, this is a perfect movie for luxury brands. So let's look at a few screenshots. So these are screenshots from the movie. Audi was an obvious choice since it was mentioned in the book as well. Lauren Angelo, director of marketing for Audi of America, said it was a natural fit for Audi to be a part of 50 Shades of Grey as it is brought to life in theaters. Audi is a brand that symbolizes performance, technology, and modern design. The natural inclusion of our hottest models in this series illustrates how Audi has become truly synonymous with sophisticated luxury. And they use 5 different Audi models in this movie. Apple is another brand that got in on the placements in this movie, as you can see here with these screenshots. And these were successful brand placements. Here's another example. Netflix original series House of Cards is another show with a lot of branded product placement. For season's 2 premiere, over 670,000 people binge watched the entire new season during the first weekend of its release on Netflix. So there's our screenshots from House of Cards showing placement of Apple computer and the Apple iPhone. So here's some other interesting facts about branded product placement in this TV show. Having previously established the main character's interest in video games, this screenshot from House of Cards shows that placement of a mobile game called Monument Valley, played by the newly appointed president. It was integrated in several scenes in season 2, episode 5. So even though it felt like an agreed product placement, Forbes reached out to Us2, the game's publisher, who confirmed no deal was placed, and they believed someone working on the show must simply be a fan of the game. But here's what happened. So you have this chart here. The gray lines indicate subcategories for reference. These are the effects of featuring the game during episode 5, and the effects were immediate. As you can see, after Netflix release on 2/27, sales of the game increased tremendously over the next 5 days. So you see where they are: Amazon games, iPhone games, and Play games, how they increase. Unlike most popular games, Monument Valley is a paid application. It's priced at $3.99 with additional extensions as an in-app purchase available for $1.99. The show advertised the game so well that a large number of people were willing to pay up front to try it out, which is very uncommon. So, in a leading series such as House of Cards, branded product placement can be an ultimate advertisement. So, there's a lot that goes into branded product placement, and there's a lot of things to consider. Three main things are placement factors, individual variables, and effects. So, let's talk about these three. The placement factors are the type of placement. So you have visual background. That's beyond focus of the scene when the Coke is sitting in the background, but it's still noticeable. Visual foreground is in the front of the focus of the actors in the scene. So pretty much the opposite of visual background. Verbally integrated. So that's when any character mentions the brand. So the brand is part of the script but not visually seen. And then you have visual and verbal. So the character mentions the brand and in the script, and the brand you can visually see it. So you have the double seeing it and hearing it. Placement factors. So you have program induced moods. So happy, sad, love, anger, fear. So most brands do not want to be put in like a horror movie or something like that. So you have to think about what type of mood that the show that the viewers are watching induces. The amount and the type of brand info, how the brand is used, and what information is revealed about the brand. Now let's move on to individual variables. So, prior familiarity with the brand. Unfamiliar or unexpected placements attract greater attention and in return produces greater cognitive outcomes. So, think about recall. If it's something that is unfamiliar or unexpected, it is proven that you're more likely to remember it. Familiar brands aid in identifying with the characters or the storyline. Judgment fit. Does the placement fit, or is it an obvious advertisement? This is one thing that a lot of viewers, when they talk about the things they don't like about branded product placement, it's just too obvious. Some placements are too obvious, and it seems like it's out of place, and that's when it has a negative effect. And then just the overall attitude towards placement in general. Are individuals okay with branded product placement? And research has shown that in general that people are okay with branded product placement. And then the next one we have are the effects. You have brand attitudes, and that's how people feel about a brand. You have purchase intentions, whether or not an individual plans or would consider purchasing the brand. These are the type of effects that you look for. Recall, measured by asking participants to list all the brands that they saw in that particular TV show. And you're hoping your brand is on the list and they can recall it. And then the last one is recognition. Participants are given a list of brands and are asked to identify the brands that they saw in the media or the TV show. So instead of just asking to list the brands like you do in Recall, you were given a list of brands and maybe you would circle the ones that you felt like you saw. Then included in there would be filler brands that were not actually included in that particular TV show. So that covers social entertainment and branded product placement. Please enjoy the rest of your day.